Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back to the Ben Stortini Show. And I'm your host, as usual, Mr. Ben Stortini, but please just call me Ben. B-E-N. All right, so we're back. And let me get this straight. Let me throw it out there real quick. That was not a real vacation. Let me get that straight. No, that was not a real vacation. From start to finish, it was just 14 days of me keeping that little boy, that big boy, under control. Just me telling him no all day. Just all day. No, don't do that. Get out of there. Stop it. No, don't. Stop. Boom, boom, boom. All day. Every day. I say the percentage of him being unmanageable to manageable for those 14 days, I'd say was about 89% unmanageable, 11%. No, I'm going to give it 91% unmanageable to 9% manageable. And that 9% was just basically when he was so tired at the end of the day where we just put him to sleep in that moment. Like that was manageable because he was out of his mind, right? Oh man. It was just not a vacation. Anyways, beautiful country, absolutely beautiful country. You know, we flew into Dublin and we spent a day there, and then we flew out of Dublin the next day into Paris, and then we started our journey. We had our rental car, this really fun car, this Peugeot SUV. It was a fun drive through that country. So we drove from Paris all the way down south. And in between, we stopped at this Airbnb, this farmhouse, beautiful farmhouse owned by this Thai woman and this French dude, Yannick. I guess they met in Thailand. Beautiful couple, really nice. They cooked us dinner the first night and then cooked us dinner on our last night, like homemade Thai food. It was so good. So big shout out to them. They had a pool outside, really good time. It was in this little village with I think there was like 100 people. And it's like, oh, it's just beautiful in the hills. And yeah, and that's where we saw the Tour de France as well, which was a super cool experience. You know, we pulled up in this hill in the middle of nowhere. It was part of the tour. We just pulled the car over into the ditch like the other people and just had a picnic. And we're sitting there, and then the tour comes by, and they're like right beside you. And I was wearing my Florida State Scotty Barnes jersey. It was so hot. I yelled out, "All right, let's go, boys!" One of these, right? Little Sioux Terrier, Sioux Greyhounds, let's go! Type of hoot and holler at them, and they kind of looked at me like, "Who is this guy? Where'd he come from?" Saw Vindegaard, saw Pogacar. It was super cool. That was a really cool experience. Kids loved it as well. They had like a little parade before as the riders are getting close, there's a parade ahead of it. So there's all these different companies and brands are throwing free stuff out. So it was so weird. Or like one company is throwing these little packets of mayonnaise. Like, oh, thanks for the mayonnaise. This guy's throwing hats, and it was cool. Very cool day. Very cool day. Definitely a highlight. That first week though, I was jet lagged to shit, man. I just could not get it on track. I think for the first 7 days, I fell asleep twice, 2 or 3 times, and that was only for like 2 hours. So for that first 7 days, I may have had 6 hours of sleep. And we're getting up every single day and going and going and going. And like I said, 91% unmanageable, 9% manageable. So it was like, woof, it was beaten and beaten. It was tough. It was tough. Let me tell you, it tested my soul. This one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna bullshit. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, it was not easy. It was not easy. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, actually. To be honest, it was one of the hardest things I ever done. I'm almost passing out every day. It's just the heat, 42 degrees, and we went to this castle. And then it was this thing too. It was like, it was just constant go, 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 go. But it was like on top of the go, it was like, what are we doing next? So I got Loon asking me, like, because we have GPS in the car. It's like, how many more minutes till we get there? And this is every minute. It's like, 18 minutes till we get there. And like, what are we doing next? What do you mean, what are we doing next? We haven't even got to the castle. And she's asking, what are we going to do after the castle? Like, oh my God, let's just enjoy the drive. You know, look out the window. Yeah. She was great though. Luna was a lot of help. She was fantastic. But it was that. It was the what's next? And it was just like boom, boom, boom all day, just oof, oof, oof. And then you got Stelo just out of his goddamn mind, out of his mind, man. Speaking of out of his mind, they make it really easy to travel by car in France. By the way, like just like pull-offs all over the highways where you can they have these bathrooms and little picnic tables just constantly, like just making your drive comfortable. And they have, just like we do here, the little gas stations that you pull off onto, of course. And we went into one when we were driving down south to our second spot. And speaking of unmanageable, there was this kid. I was watching this kid. He was making a lot of ruckus. And right now, I'm just trying to keep Stelo in check. Like, I'm just looking at him like, don't you even try. Like, I gave him some looks that trip that were just, wow. I was looking at him, don't you even think about it. You know what I mean? He's looking at these toys, and you could see the volcano starting to, like, erupt. Anyways, I saw this one kid, and he had erupted. And he just dropped to the ground crying, and the mom was like, no, you can't have it in French. I'm sure that's what she said. And no, he just starts acting up, this kid, right? This mom just drops her bags, lines her hand right back, and just whop gosh, smacks the shit out of this kid. right. And it wasn't like she was she looked like a well put together, fashionable mom who's got her shit together, but she didn't give a fuck. She just wound up and just whop, pow, just smacked this kid, right? And then grabbed him by the scruff of his shirt by his neck. Didn't even go and pay for her shit. She just left what she came for and just walked out with this kid, right? I was like, oh, I get it. I get that vibe, man. I get it. Oh, man. So we just kept driving. We got to our second Airbnb, which was in this town called Sanary del Sur. I probably got that wrong, but beautiful spot, man. Right on the Mediterranean. This Airbnb that we have is this gated house. It was like a scene out of Narcos. I'm not even making it up. I did post a video of it on Instagram because it was just so surreal. It was like it's like a scene out of Narcos. Like Pablo Escobar would have this place as his like little getaway, right? Like a safe house. It had a gate, and you get up there, so on the top of the hill, like a cliff overlooking the Mediterranean, overlooking the whole city. And it had this, like, what do you call it, the infinity pool overlooking the cliff. And it was just so beautiful. And the dad lived there in the one unit, and we were renting his son's unit, Jerome. And so Jerome rents out his place while he's out doing whatever he does. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So we get into our apartment. We're looking around, and there's all this artwork, all this narco artwork. Like, it was all this guys in ski masks with AKs, and, you know, the Last Supper with just guys with ski masks on, and, like, obviously big piles of cocaine. And, like, it just screamed drug money. It just screamed drug trafficker, like this place, right? And he had this thing for America too. Like, he had all these things from the States that just gave off like a States vibe. Like, he had a 49ers helmet over here. He had the little Hulk. It just right. It was just weird. And then over here, you had like this big framed. When you go to a shooting range, they give you the paperback that you shot at, right? And it was called Locked and Loaded Miami. And he had that up, and I was like, okay. I see what's going on here. Like, okay. So, but I was like, whatever. Beautiful spot. So we keep going. And, you know, we end the week, right? And the day we left, the dad was real cool with us. But I guess we were supposed to be out by 10, but we thought it was 11. Anyways, we got rushed out on our last day. And he walks us up to the car. And they had two cars already in the parking lot, like behind the gate. But they weren't like fancy cars. It was just a Peugeot van, and then a Citroen, I think that's what you call it, little car. But this day, on the end, it's like he wanted to let me know, you know, his game, and he just opens up the garage. All of a sudden, I look in the garage, and there's a giant, like, DJ Paul Bentley, another giant Maserati, just sitting there, like, 2 homes worth of cars, like this giant beautiful Bentley and this giant beautiful Maserati just sitting there, right? I was like, oh my gosh, nice car. And he didn't speak really any English, and he's like, and he asked me what I did. It's like advertising. And then I was like, what do you do? And he kind of smirked, and he hands me his card, and it's like he was in tech. I'm like, oh, are you in tech? And he kind of gave a chuckle. It's like, oh, okay, so tech. I still have his card too. I'm gonna email him. Let's see if he's got any openings in the tech industry. But it was a beautiful time in that city. Great vibes. The beach was nice. We went down there. There was people surfing. The waves were beautiful. I went for a run there, and that was another thing. Like I didn't do anything. This was the first time in about over 10 years that for 2 weeks I basically didn't do any exercising. I ran twice in 2 weeks. That was it. I mean, I count that too. I just wasn't feeling well. Like I just wasn't sleeping. My body just did not feel right. It was like 42 degrees every single day. Taking care of these kids. This is not a vacation. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. So for me to get up in the morning and to go for a run before we get going, to get to where we're going, it was like, this wasn't happening. So I just said, you know what? No, 2 weeks, I'm going to have my croissants. I'm going to eat my cheese. And I'm going to admit it right here on the podcast. I went 6 years without a sip of alcohol, man. Yeah, it happened, man. I drank some rosé. For the first time in 6 years, I hadn't had a sip of alcohol. I was going to leave that in France, but I'll put it right here on the podcast. I know nobody gives a shit, but I had some drinks. I was like, oh, hello, old friend. That first drink felt great. It felt good, I'm not going to lie. So I just had rosé for the trip, and that's what got me through. To be completely honest, like, it was not easy. So having that wine at the end of the day, it was easy. And I didn't get drunk. That was the one thing. I definitely didn't get drunk. I got a little, like, buzzy. But, yeah, I didn't get drunk. I didn't want to. But so I had control of it, which was cool, because one of the reasons why I quit drinking alcohol in the first place was that I didn't have a limiter. Like, I just didn't know when to pump my brakes. It was like, oh, this feels good. I want it to feel better, and I want this never to go away. So I just keep drinking. I was able to control that. There was a couple moments where like, yeah, I can probably drink about 2 bottles of this shit right now, but I didn't go there. And I didn't have a cigarette. I had such a temptation to have a cigarette because everyone smokes down there. So everywhere I'm turning is just people smoking and drinking wine at like 10 in the morning. But I didn't have a cigarette, which I'm very happy that I can come back and admit that I didn't smoke, but I did drink. I haven't had a drink since. I said that was my last drink on the last day, the last night, and you know, that was it. So maybe I'll just do this on vacations. I don't know. We'll see. One of, I guess you would say, highlights or lowlights of this trip was we did a boat tour the day before we left in that same city, Sanari del Sur. A boat tour. Now, let me tell you something. This was, again, like, we were getting up every single morning so early just to do what we were going to do, right? Which is cool. But it was, like, wearing on me. At this point, I'm passing out almost every day. I'm exhausted. We've had zero time to relax on our own. And, like, absolute zero time. And the only time was at night. When they went to sleep, the kids go to sleep, and I have my rosé, and I'm basically scrolling through Instagram, putting pictures up. And so this day before we leave, we decide we're going to go to a boat tour. And it had been so windy. I'm telling you, so windy. Every single day we were there, it was just like so much. It's such a strong wind, right? So we're like, all right, well, I guess we called this boat tour place, or our friends from Holland, which we met, God bless them, love them to death. They organized it. And so we had to be there 8 a.m. Sorry, 7:45 actually, 7:45 a.m. So let's get the kids, let's go, boom, get down there. And I look at my watch, my Apple Watch, and it tells you the weather for, the first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. And it was just straight wind. Just straight strong wind too. I'm like, this might not be good. Again, I grew up on an island, so I've been on a lot of boats. This is not new to me, right? So we get to the boat. Johannika, our Dutch friend, she's there with her husband and their 2 kids. She gets seasick really easy, so she asked the guys that are working on the boat, like, are we okay to be going out in this wind? Like, is this going to be okay? And these guys may have been maybe 21 years old, and they just looked at it and they kind of smirked, and I mean, yeah, it should be okay. It should be okay. Oui, it should be okay. Like this type of vibe, right? I kind of looked at that because I was in the background, so I'm like, I read that as it's probably not going to be okay. And I'd been saying since the day before to Sharon, I'm like, this is not good. It's going to be windy. This is not good. Nobody's listening. So we get to the boat, We find our seats. We sit down. There's people in the front and the exposed, and we're inside, with the glassed up area, and there's people in the back. This boat is packed. The moment we get out of the harbor, get out of the dock, the waves are just fucking monstrous. Let me tell you something. These waves were like the shit you see on TLC, where it's those fishermen that are out in Alaska, where it's just like, and the moment that started happening, all the people that were in the front that were exposed come running in, screaming and like almost crying. They all got wet, and these waves are huge, and these people all come running inside. I go, this is not a good start. And everyone's like, like being very dramatic about it, right? And nothing has hit me yet. I'm still sitting. I'm like, okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't have been outside. But as these waves are just getting bigger, and keep this in mind too, this is a 2.5 hour boat tour. Okay. We're only about 5 minutes in. All of a sudden, I start feeling sick. I've never been seasick in my entire life. Never. I've never been seasick in my life. And I've been on a lot of boats. But I have not been on a lot of boats that go through this hellscape. Like Satan just put his tail into the water and just went and just said, here you go. And instantly I turned, I guess Sharon and Johannika and them saw that I was completely white. Just completely white. And I just gave the old uncle sit. Like I was sitting like an old uncle. I had my one hand on my knee and then my elbow on my thigh and side. And I was just like this, right? With my head down. I just got to survive this shit. All of a sudden, everybody in the boat starts puking. Everywhere you look, there's kids puking with their white bags. The guys that were like, oh yeah, we should be okay, they're handing out puke bags to everybody. I'd say about 75% of the boat was either puking or about to puke. The rest were just like, I don't know, they were just hardened French people that just like, they enjoyed this shit. I don't know. But the 75%, there's people like looking overboard the boat, blah, puking. There's kids crying. There's like these really giant obese tourist women that are hyperventilating into the puke bags, like breathing, like trying to, I don't know what. And then, so I'm just looking around. I'm still in my uncle stance, man. I'm like that old drunk uncle, like have my hand again on my knee and then my elbow on my thigh. And I'm just like, just survive. And I remember like, I couldn't even think about doing anything but surviving. Do you know what I mean? When you've ever been in that situation where it's just like, it just wouldn't stop too. It was just, I was getting more sick and more sick. And all of a sudden, like we get into this. I was like, when is this going to end? And I was so mad. That was the thing. I was sick, but I was so mad. Like I remember looking over at Sharon. I'm like, this shit is so fucked up. And I yelled it. Like people heard me. I looked right at him like, this shit is fucked up. We should have never came on this fucking boat like this. I was so mad because I've been saying we should not be going on this goddamn boat with this wind. So we pull into these coves, right? All of a sudden the waves kind of relax, right? And in my head, like I've got my puke bag here. I'm in my uncle's stance. And I can't even pick up my kids. I can't because I'm about to fucking keel over, right? In my head, I'm like, can we get off this boat? So I thought in my head, I'm going to put Stelo on my back and I'm going to grab Luna right here and I'm going to just jump off this boat and I'm going to take my kids and we're getting the fuck off this boat. Because Johannika had asked, and she wasn't feeling well, I had asked the guys like, can we get off this boat? And they're like, no, not till we get back. You cannot get off this boat. So I can't even get off this boat? And we've only been doing this for 30 minutes. I got 2 more hours of this shit? Oh my God. So this entire time, I'm just trying to hold it together. I'm just, oh my God, everyone's puking. And finally, we turn around and we start to get our way back. Thank God. The way back is surfing the waves back. So we're not hitting them head on. We're on top of them. And it was a much easier ride to get back there, but still feeling sick. Like it was another hour to 2 hours after we got off the boat. I remember we got off the boat too, and there was a carousel. So all the kids wanted to go in the carousel, and just looking at that carousel spinning, oh my God, I just sat down like, and they're getting cheese and bread. I'm like, oh my God, I can't think of cheese right now. No more cheese. I don't want any more cheese. And spinning carousels, and oh my God, I just want to go home, right? I was so ready to go home at that point. Oh, I was so mad. And that's the thing, like, after the carousel and all this shit, and we had whatever we did, I can't even remember. We got back to our apartment, and I just ripped off my clothes, went straight to bed, and just laid down. It felt like I had been sleeping for like hours, but I think it was only literally probably about, I think it was half an hour, 45 minutes. But I just crashed. Oh my God. Those are the things you don't put on it, like social media, right? But it's the truth of the trip, man. That's the truth of the trip. I'm feeling like I'm going to pass out the whole time. I actually went to a doctor while we were there because, like, I was just feeling so shitty. And it was obviously because of the insomnia and everything like that. And I was like backed up because, like, it just, my digest. Listen, I live in a routine here back in Toronto, very much a routine. Like, my body is my temple and I'm on point. And you throw it off a ship like that for 2 weeks. Oh my God, I went into hell. And yeah, so I had to, like, beautiful country. Great food. The food was nice. Their coffee was not good. For some reason, the French can't seem to get coffee together. I got one nice coffee. It was this cappuccino. I can't remember where we were at, but other than that, man, top to bottom, it was great. I had fun. Beautiful people, inside and out. I never had one moment like I did in Dominican. The last trip we had took was in Dominican, and I suggest to anybody listening right now, don't ever go to fucking Dominican Republic. No, thank you. There was none of that vibe while we were there. It was really cool, but we also weren't in the spots where a lot of tourists were at. We went to, like, where the locals live. I didn't see many tourists at all where we were at the entire trip, so it was pretty cool for that. We like to do that with our traveling. We don't like to go to, those spots like that. So it was fun. I'll leave it at that. Anybody with kids, just wait until they get a little older. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was WestJet points, so it was on points, so it kind of wasn't us spending all that money. But, yeah, just wait. Just wait. Especially if you got one of those boys who just, he's a napalm. Like, just wait. Wait till they get a little older. Give yourself a chance. Because that shit was hard. On that note, let's switch some worlds here. I want to give a shout out to our Dutch friends, Johannica and Vincent, who met us in France. Vincent, ex-military guy, he's from Holland. And, man, this dude, I've never met somebody like this. He doesn't drink water, ever. He never eats vegetables, ever. He just eats meat, smokes cigarettes, drinks 2 liters of Coke per day, and drinks beer. That's it. And this dude looks exactly the same as how he looked when he was at my wedding. And he's not fat. He's just kind of like in decent shape. It's crazy. I've never seen something like that before. So shout out to you. Enjoying your life, man, with that Coke and that beer and the smoking. And you're getting through it. But love your kids. Their kids' names are Puck and what's the other kid's name, man? Luke. Beautiful kids, beautiful people, and it was great seeing you. So, love you guys. And we're back. We're going to make this quick, this Stortini verse. I came back, and one of the tunes that has been stuck in my head, I don't know why, but it is Shy FX and UK Apache. This tune right here, this is a jungle tune. This when jungle first popped off in England. Jungle music, man. I'm a fan. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a fan of that jungle, man. I'm a junglist. And this tune came out in 94, original Nata.
You know, when I walk into a dance, the bouncers don't frisk me.
This tune, man.
They salute me.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Sign of respect.
Everlasting name.
Remember this tune?
You get back him and along with the shy effects. And when we come it's murderation. All original junglists. Anyone we tell them no. Can we not imitate? Originate, we come for originate. Alright, mate. Stop gassing,
this tune is so
what
crazy.
The people them blasting, none of mercy, they're everlasting. Watch them and tell them to move right.
Here it comes.
Watch this. And in the voice, sing like no.
And in the voice,
sing like no.
and in the voice.
Sing like no.
No. Boys in England, this tune, man. I actually went to a party in the UK when I was living in there, and when they dropped this tune, forget about it. This tune still booms, man. I just want you to hear it when it drops, man. Shout out Shy Effects, UK Paxi. Come on, man. Man, that's it. Shy Effects, Jungle, UK Taxi, Original Nata. That jungle movement, man, it still hits. I was just playing that at the gym and on the way back from the gym in the truck, man. That tune is a monster. So go listen to that one. As far as a documentary, what have I watched? I haven't really watched much. So since I didn't watch any TV while we were on vacation, well, it wasn't vacation, while we were in France. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause on that and let you know once I watch something. But I was talking to a friend of mine on Instagram this morning. He had posted something about the movie Kids, just basically throwing respect out to that movie, 1995, the movie Kids, Larry Clark, with Casper and those boys, rest in peace. Man, that movie is so good. I remember I was saying to him, like, that movie freaked me the fuck out because it was about AIDS, right? I remember I was like, I lost my virginity. I'm like, man, I think I got AIDS because I just watched that movie. It was like, that movie fucked me up. But that's one of the best movies that's ever come out. And I've always said somebody needs to come out. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe I'm going to put a team together. Cal, Josh Power, all them boys, and make the new school kids like what's going on now. You know what I mean? Because that's what they did with this movie. They just went out. This was the culture at the moment in New York City with these kids. Rosario Dawson, Casper, all these boys, man. Harold, rest in peace. You know what I mean? This was the culture. So they made that movie. Somebody needs to make that right now for this culture right now with these kids right now, because it's a whole different thing, right? With the phones, with the social media, with all that shit. So I think I just came up with an idea right there. So we'll see what happens with that. And lastly, my challenge before this weekend, my challenge is this. My challenge to you is that if you have kids, pause any vacation ideas. Just wait it out, man. Wait it out. Don't force it. Just wait it out. And, you don't have to go across the world with the two kids. You can literally just go to Wonderland and, and survive that. So on that note, man, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the little episodes that I put out while I was gone. And yeah, love y'all. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening or watching this episode. It means a lot, genuinely. And remember, new episodes come out every single Friday. So please hit subscribe wherever you're catching this pod, whether it's Amazon Music, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube. And please hit that 5-star review, because that nudges that silly little algorithm to reach out to more ears and eyes. And please have a great weekend. And I just can't leave without telling you one last thing. Don't forget, I love you.